Yes, Casanovians. All right, boys, I ain't even finished buttoning up my shirt yet. I've just come out of the shower. That's why my hair's looking like this. Hopefully, I look pretty. Do I look high value? Yeah, I'm looking nice and high value. Like I eat 15 raw eggs a day. I look like a hyper masculine red pill alpha male. Grr. Anyway, boys, I wanna put this live stream together, and I'm just gonna drench it with a shitload of insane value. And the purpose of this live stream is to shower you with important knowledge that you can go forth and live healthy, happy, abundant relationships in your pursuit of divine masculinity. And yeah, hopefully this is useful. So this is more of a continuation of a conversation that I had yesterday with one of our Entourage members, Richie. So we sat down yesterday and we had a discussion over the live stream, and Richie was kind enough to share his journey so far of being a member of the Entourage. I will link that video at the end of this video, so you know that I'm not talking out my ass, and you know that Richie is a real person who's getting real results with real world women. But I just wanted to pinpoint some important parts of that conversation, and I'm almost making this live stream as an additional coaching video for Richie, because he watches these videos every single day with a bowl of cornflakes and a hot cup of cocoa. And yeah, I hope that you find this useful, Mr. Richie. So if any of you didn't see the live stream yesterday, let me just give you the elevator pitch of who is Richie and what are the results that he's been getting. So Richie joined the Entourage around April of this year, and Richie had been on a 4-year dry spell. Okay, he hadn't been with a woman for 4 years. He had come out of a toxic long-term relationship which completely capitulated his confidence. He had a lot of self-limiting beliefs. He'd consumed a lot of red pill manospheric content, and his head was just mashed, right? His head was filled, like ballooned with all of this unnecessary, esoteric red pill dogma. And he reached out to work with me, fully transparent, in a bad place, right? He wasn't in a good place in his life. 4-year dry spell, okay? 38 years old, 4-year dry spell. Head is filled with a kaleidoscope of self-limiting beliefs. Fast forward to today, he has recently met, to quote him, his ideal woman, right? He's met his ideal woman through daytime cold approach, and he's in this little love bubble, right? He's living out his romantic fantasies. He's finally found a woman who ticks his boxes. He was saying to me that, I think he said it on the live stream as well, he was lying next to her the other night, and he was just thinking to himself, like, how the fuck did we actually get here? Right? Like, in April of this year, flooded with all of these self-limiting beliefs, 4-year dry spell, reached out to me, not fully knowing what he was signing up for, not fully aware of the transformation that he was going to undergo. And now he's lying next to his ideal woman, who he met through daytime cold approach. He's in this, like, love story, like hashtag Taylor Swift love story. I think this is phenomenal, right? This is what happens when you take action. But the important part of this live stream is the difference between acquisition and retention, okay? It's one thing getting a woman, it's another thing keeping a woman. And attracting a woman means nothing if you can't keep her. And this is where old school pickup advice for me fell completely short. So old school pickup advice was how you can masquerade as being this high value guy, yeah, approaching women, pretending you've got the imaginary lats, posturing a certain way, memorizing lines and routines because you're terrified of not receiving love from the feminine. You desperately just want to be wanted, but you're terrified of showing up as your most authentic self in case you're rejected, and that hurts your ego. Maybe it reminds you of a time in your life, probably your childhood, where maybe you were rejected by one of your family members, a parent, a loved one, and that hits deep at your core. So instead, you move through life faking it, not fully showing up as your most authentic self. And the reason why lines and routines don't work is because it's not what you say, it's not how you say it, it's who you are when you say it, okay? So if you lead into conversations with a bouquet of falsity, meaning that you're just using lines, you're saying to yourself, I'm gonna say this thing in the hopes that this woman likes me, right? Like, most guys, when they compliment a woman, the compliment is not genuine because the compliment is coming from a place of scarcity rather than abundance. Most guys will compliment a woman being like, I'm going to say this nice thing about her in the hope that my love is reciprocated. But the way that we actually want to be approaching our approaches is from a place of abundance, meaning that we can declare our desire in a non-needy way, meaning that we can go over to women who we find attractive, give them compliment without needing anything in return. That's abundance. That's what Richie now has, okay? And it took a long time for us to get here. If you're even slightly interested in working with me, I make it very clear, it's not magic bullet, it's not quick fix solutions. I'm not selling this BS coaching, like 5 tricks to get any woman into bed. Just say this and your dating life is going to be changed. No, that's complete bollocks. It's complete bullshit marketing from charlatans in this space who just want to make a quick buck and then go retire on the beach in Bali. So it's a complete overhaul of your current character. It's a complete transformation of your current self. It's not doing your best, it's doing what's necessary. And the important thing for Richie now is focusing on the retention. Because of his 4-year dry spell, because of his toxic relationship in the past, he's got a lot of nice guy, people-pleasing tendencies, which still can rear their head. So now that he's in a relationship with this woman, the important thing for him now is to continue being the version of himself who this woman fell in love with. That is such a crucial point, so I'm going to say it again. If you want to go from acquisition to retention, you need to continue being the version of yourself who this woman fell in love with. And that's much easier to do when you start off that approach from an authentic place. Because if you started off that relationship from a place of falsity, meaning that you've presented yourself as something that you're not, eventually the mask will slip. And this is why I believe most people get into relationships with strangers. Most people marry strangers because oftentimes, it's not just the men, the women will do it as well. Both parties are trying to present themselves as their best selves. Now, this isn't inherently bad. Like, I understand why we do it. It's a survival mechanism. We want to present our best selves, but I think there's a difference between presenting your most authentic self and your perfect self, right? We don't want to be perfect. We want to be authentic, meaning that when we do go into our conversations, just being able to lead with that authenticity, say what we feel rather than what we ought to say. So if you're approaching a woman and you feel a little bit nervous, you're feeling a little bit apprehensive, declare it, right? And it's coming from a place of power, not from a place of pessimism. This is exactly what Richie did to find his wife-worthy woman, right? He saw her, and then my coach Daniel was working with him one-to-one during this session, and Daniel said to him, he gave him an exercise. He got Richie to do what he termed 12 seconds of honesty, something along those lines. 12 seconds of radical honesty, meaning that Daniel pushed Richie into that conversation and just said to him, listen, forget about trying to come across as cool, as suave, as Mr. James Bond. For those first 12 seconds, speak from the heart. Just say whatever comes to mind. If you're shitting it, tell her that. If you feel nervous, say it. If you've just run out of things to say because she's so gob-smackingly gorgeous that you feel like, oh shit, my mind's gone blank, say it. Say that shit. And this was the exact reason why she decided to go on a date with him. Dude, this is so important. So just stop what you're doing. Give me your full attention, because this will change the way that not just how you approach women, but how you retain them. She said to Richie on their date together, I've had guys approach me in the past. I've had guys approach me on the street in the day, but I've always turned these guys away. And it's not because they're bad guys, like they were good looking guys, they were well put together. They probably had money, look, status, all this shit, game and frame. Like they had all these things. But the reason why I've decided to go on a date with you, Mr. Richie, is because you were authentic. Like, I liked your radical honesty. When you approached me, there was no pretense. You weren't hiding behind this facade. You weren't saying things because you thought, oh, if I say this, maybe she'll like me. No, you just went up, you came over to me. I loved your conviction, like you were playing to win rather than playing not to lose. Those were her exact words, but that's me paraphrasing the feminine. He went over to her and he was able to just speak what he wanted, right? So there's no lines, there's no scripts, there's no routines. Oh, she said this, so, I need to neg. I need to neg this girl more. That's why I'm getting so many flakes. Oh, I need to neg more. Oh, I need to vibe. I need to stack. Oh, has she hooked yet? And look, I'm not criticizing anybody for running these routines at the start because you don't know what you don't know. You just want to be loved. You just want to be accepted. You just want to be validated. Maybe you've got to a place in your life where you feel sad, you feel lonely, you feel as though no one's accepting you. So you're viewing cold approach as a cheat code into, we'll term it, the sexual marketplace. Now, cold approach is a cheat code into the sexual marketplace for the right person, okay? Meaning that if you are a low-life loser who's got no value, who's got a pot belly, who smokes weed, who's just drinking all day on his grandma's basement playing fucking Fortnite, then it's not what you say, it's not how you say it, it's who you are when you say it, okay? Richie is an individual who's got his shit together. He's a high-achieving individual. He's working multiple contracts. His days are busy. He's got a hectic lifestyle. This is the sort of individual that I work with, right? I don't work with broke students. I work with entrepreneurs, business owners, high achievers, guys who've actually got value to give, right? So now what's important for Richie is continuing to be the version of himself who this woman actually fell for. And the advice that myself and the guys in our entourage have provided him with is continue to approach whilst you're in this relationship. Now, he's not approaching because he wants to sleep with every new woman who he gets phone numbers off. He's approaching to retain the skill. And by retaining the skill of cold approach, he will retain the woman because it's keeping him tapped in to this constant flow of abundance. Abundance is not always having, it's knowing you can have. Most relationships today, in my belief, are based off of scarcity. Okay, most men are picking women not because they want her, but because they just want someone, because they haven't unlocked this decentralized skill set of the awake 1%, which is cold approach. So they're outsourcing their future family to an algorithmic dating app, which are oversaturated, or trying to get lucky with some low quality girl in a grotty nightclub, or mass DMing hundreds of women on social media like a little simp. Most relationships are being formed from this place of scarcity, okay, rather than from a place of abundance. So now, out of all of the options that Richie had available, he's like, I want you, okay? So in the lead up to his current relationship that he's now in, he's had mini girlfriend experiences along the way. And this was phenomenal as well. Like, he's been having these mini girlfriend experiences in the lead up to his current relationship. And every time he's met a new woman, he's gone on a new date, he's brought a woman back to his place, it's solidifying the belief that he is an abundant man, right? And that's the whole point for me of cold approach. It's to get you tapped in to this romantic abundance. So now he's in a relationship with an incredible woman, right? He really sees a future with this woman. I think that's the whole reason why the majority of guys get in contact with me in the first place. Like, the majority of my clients, typically over the age of 35 years old, they want a wife-worthy woman. They want to find a partner who they can have a family with, who they can do life with, right? The older that a guy is, typically, the more urgency he's actually got, right? If you're watching this and you're over the age of 40 and you've still not found your partner yet, and you're watching all your friends settle down and have kids, that needs to piss you off. Like, that needs to inspire some serious urgency within you. And even if it's not me, even if it's not working with me and joining the entourage, for fuck's sake, get somebody to help you. Because like I said before, stop doing your best. Your best has got you up to this point. So if you're waking up every day feeling lonely, feeling sad, feeling depressed, watching your friends settle down, have kids, starting a family, feeling as though you've missed the boat, nothing changes if nothing changes. Stop doing your best. Start doing what is necessary. Find people online. If you resonate with people like who are not me, then get in contact with those people. Actually seek mentorship, seek guidance, seek advice. The reason why you're watching these videos is because you're experiencing pain in your life to some degree. There's no reason why you would be watching this video for 20 minutes if your life was tickety-boo, right? There's obviously pain in your life that you need to solve. And you don't want to get to the end of your life, 70 years old, thinking, fucking hell, I wish I took action when I had the chance. So Richie is now in a position where he wants to be focusing on retention. And by him going out daily and interacting with new women, approaching, taking phone numbers, having conversations with the feminine, just feeling abundant in himself, it allows him to continue to be the version of himself who his current partner fell for in the first place. He told a great story on the live stream yesterday, how he went out into his city the other day. This was after he'd had a magical second date with his current woman. And he went outside, he was continuing to exercise the discipline of day game for the abundance, for the skill acquisition, or for the skill retention. And he met statuesque blonde bombshell, had a great conversation with her, took her phone number. And it got to the end of the day where he was at his feet up in his apartment. And he sent a message to me and the group in our private WhatsApp chat. And he was like, I've just met this great woman, but I actually don't fancy texting her. And like, for me, that was the moment where he truly leveled up, right? Because the Richie that I met 4, 5, 6 months ago, the Richie that I met would have been sticking on to every single woman, like sellotape, just like clinging on to every lead, thinking, oh my God, this woman's validated me. This woman's given me approval. Oh, I've got a phone number. Oh, I need to text her. Now he's like, do you know what? I'm good. I've got more high quality options than I know what to do with. I've unlocked the skill of call approach. So I'm never going to be needy in my life again. I'm no longer paralyzed by fear. I'm overcoming my self-limiting beliefs. I'm actually getting to a place now of self-adoration rather than self-deprecation. I don't need to text this girl. She's a great girl, but I'm good. Like, I've got my woman. And this is like, he's almost now able to tap into what I would call hot girl mode, right? You imagine a beautiful 21-year-old girl, right, who's got hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram, getting DM'd all the time, more options than she knows what to do with. Richie's now tapping into this sensation of hot girl mode where he can be picky, he can be choosy, he can cherry pick the best options for himself. Why? Because now he's abundant, he's got the skill, he's got the support, he's being held accountable for his actions. This is what happens when you take massive action. This is what happens when you find people who are actually more committed to your personal growth than you are. This is what happens when you follow a proven system, right? Like, what I teach the guys, it works, right? If you're looking for a way to transform your dating, not just your dating life, but if you're looking for a way to just get to a place where you actually fucking like yourself, then just go and look at the testimonials. I'm not going to try and hard sell anybody on these live streams. I say to people all the time, evidence has got the loudest voice, right? Evidence has got the loudest voice. If you click the link below, that'll take you to my website. Look at the testimonials. Look at what my clients have actually got to say about me. And hopefully that gives you all the evidence that you need. But yeah, we had a conversation yesterday. So once this stream has finished, you'll be able to go in the comments, first link in the comments, and just listen to the conversation that I had with Richie. He can tell his story better than I can. But again, I want this story to inspire hope and optimism. 4-year dry spell, right? 4-year dry spell. Hadn't been with a woman for 4 years. Felt as though his best years were behind him. Worried that he was not going to be able to actually change. But we got there, and we're continuing to get there. And this is why it's similar to what we're speaking about in this live stream, acquisition and retention. I don't just want to get people into my coaching and be like, right, cool, made money, on to the next. No. It's like when you come and work with me, you become part of a family, right? Your success is directly linked to my reputation. That's why I go above and beyond to make sure someone's drilling. Richie! That's why I go above and beyond to make sure that every guy who works with me is delighted beyond belief, is rip-roaringly successful, because my biggest fear is for anybody to have worked with me and leave feeling disappointed, right? My reputation is attached to your success. So as long as you give 100%, then you'll get out of this what you're prepared to put into it. It's not a magic bullet. It's not a quick fix. There are no guarantees. But if you're the type of guy that I'm looking to work with, you already know that. You already know there's no guarantees. Nothing's guaranteed in life apart from death and taxes. Whoever it was that said that is an absolute legend. You need to work. You need to be prepared to put in the reps, and not to do your best, but to do what is necessary. I've got all the tools. I can give you all the tools. But at the end of the day, personal trainer can't lift the weight for you. Personal trainer can't stop you from stuffing your face with donuts at 11:30 on a Tuesday night, right? You need to be accountable. You need to be disciplined. You need to actually want this and have that burning desire. And that's what Richie's had in bucket load. He's had that burning desire. The difference between attracting women and keeping women, right? It's not about learning routines. It's not about learning scripts. It's not about posturing in some egotistical way because you're terrified of not receiving love from the feminine. It's about being able to lead with your most authentic self. And if you've not done so already, download my free courses. All right, I've got Conversation Killer, which gives you the entire cold approach playbook. I've also got my Most Fuckable Man course, which teaches you how you can become the version of yourself who can actually get results from daytime cold approach. Right? It's not about chasing a goal, it's chasing an identity. It's not about doing your best, it's about doing what is necessary. So if you want to listen to Richie's full transformation, listen to him talk about his experiences and what it's actually been like to work with me so far, then I will link that conversation in the comments. You can go over, you can watch it, and hopefully this inspires you. 4-year dry spell, now living his dream dating life. And it hasn't happened by luck, it's happened by design. So if this just inspires one person to get out there, live a life beyond the beige, not to die with the music still inside of them, happy guy. I've got another live stream coming up later. I'm going to be streaming with Ephraim. So yeah, boys, listen, if you've enjoyed this, drop it a like. If you're subscribed, that's cool. If you're not subscribed, consider doing that. Download the free courses, go listen to Richie. If you want to work with me, you currently can't because my coaching is closed. But if you're interested in reserving a spot on our wait list, then you can do that. There'll be a link somewhere. There's a shitload of links. That's nice. But yeah, cool. I'll speak with you again later on, boys. All right, bye.